Two right lanes are blocked. State police are there, and one lane's getting by. That's the left lane getting by on the eastbound side of I-80. Avoid it by using US 6 or US 52. A Gapers delay westbound from US 30 to the Swains River Bridge. Further to the east in northwest Indiana, a pretty bit backup on 8094 westbound from I-65 to Indianapolis Boulevard. Crash cleanup there on the shoulder, but a lot to see on the eastbound side. That's why you're backed up from the Bishop Ford Freeway to Indianapolis Boulevard. On DuSable Lake Shore Drive, we're getting word of a crash southbound at Randolph in the two left lanes. Traffic starting to get very thick from North Avenue. You may want to use that exit there and use LaSalle to avoid the delay on the southbound side of the drive. Watch for a pothole. The Dan Ryan outbound in the express lanes at 31st in the right lane. Avoid the express. Stick with the local lanes. 45 out, you're 22 minutes in. A crash still slowing you down big time on 290 inbound past 355. It's in the right lane. Your next traffic report from the Metro Traffic Center, 438 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
16 degrees at 429.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal due. That the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
What's up, everybody? SubX News on the spot reporting. It's a few minutes before 4:30. This is the accident they were just talking about right here. You'll see. We're going to go check this one out.
The largest gathering of
They always have accidents here.
in the country. Meet the lodge owners. Enjoy new seminar speakers.
You'll see it right here. It's January 28th, 2029. It's going to be 4:30 in a few seconds.
January 29th to February 1st at the Kane County.
Again, there's an accident right here. There was an accident on Damon when I was coming into downtown, but this S-curve here always has accidents.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM.
Indiana's option play to get the Bears out of Chicago just took a big step closer to the end zone. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles with details on a key vote in Indianapolis.
This is Mike Krauser. Indiana Republicans advance watered-down legislation concerning the Ten Commandments in public schools.
If you get your water from the state's largest privately owned water company, your bill could soon be going up. Plus, Ecuador has filed a formal complaint with the U.S. government after ICE agents tried to enter the country's consulate in Minneapolis. Sports Bulls on the road to take on the Pacers tonight in business.
Very modest gains on Wall Street today, even as the Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged. The Dow up 12, the Nasdaq up 40, the S&P just a fraction lower. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
Cloudy skies right now, 16 degrees at 431. The state of Indiana just took one big step forward in an attempt to quarterback sneak the Bears from the state of Illinois. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles has the update.
Members of the Indiana Senate overwhelmingly approved a plan that would have the state build a new football stadium in northwest Indiana and rent it to the Bears. Just 2 senators voted against the bill, which now goes to the House. It calls for Indiana to set up a stadium authority, kind of like the one Illinois launched to build what's now Rate Field, that would do all the heavy lifting of building and setting up a stadium, which then would be leased to the Bears with an option to buy.
If I'm the governor of Indiana, I'm doing everything I can to get these guys.
Arlington Heights Mayor Jim Tenalia told Mullion Haw on our sister station The Score last week that he's taking Indiana's overtures seriously. The team has planned to build a stadium on the old Arlington Park property, but state lawmakers have balked at a measure which would let the team work with local school districts to set long-term property tax rates. The Bears released a statement that in part calls the vote a positive and significant step. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Indiana Republican lawmakers have advanced legislation about the Ten Commandments in public schools.
The watered-down version approved by the House Education Committee on a party line vote would allow the display of the Ten Commandments. It would not require the display, but would require that a copy be available in libraries as a historical document like the Declaration of Independence. Republican Representative Michelle Davis is behind the legislation.
So the Ten Commandments cannot be read by a principal or a teacher teacher when the students are present.
Timothy Huggins, a citizen, spoke in support.
Without the basis of the Ten Commandments, we would not have a Declaration of Independence.
Zachary Parrish with the Secular Education Association.
I find it interesting that we're here discussing the historical significance of a document that was dictated by a supernatural voice to a man who heard voices from burning bushes.
Parrish said the legislation is part of an agenda to further religious intrusion into public education. He said there will be lawsuits. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, added to all the bills that are going up lately, your water bill could be going up as well. It comes as the state's largest privately owned water company asking regulators for a rate hike.
Illinois American Water filed a rate hike with the Illinois Commerce Commission to raise water bills of average users by $14 a month and wastewater users by $28 a month. The company told the state the increase would help pay for $577 million in system improvements over the next 2 years. The Citizens Utility Board plans to challenge it, calling it a money grab, pointing to profits by Illinois American's parent company at more than $1 billion in 2024 and another $873 million last year through September. If approved, the new rates would take effect a year from now. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Around the nation, Ecuador's foreign ministry has now filed an official complaint after federal immigration agents tried to enter its consulate in Minneapolis.
Video shows a commotion as a consulate staffer barred what appeared to be an ICE agent trying to enter the facility. The staffer says, quote, "You cannot enter here. This is a consulate. This is a foreign government property." On the video, the man dressed in gear worn by ICE agents in Minneapolis says, quote, "Okay, relax, I didn't enter." The Department of Homeland Security says it has no record of ICE or Border Patrol agents being near the consulate. A spokesperson says, quote, "We are continuing to check with other federal agencies." Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
More details emerging in a syringe attack on a Minnesota representative.
A man is under arrest after Democratic U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar was sprayed with an unknown substance during a town hall in Minneapolis Tuesday. The spraying happened as Omar called for the abolishment of ICE.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Police say the man sprayed Omar with a syringe. He was tackled to the ground, and Omar said she would continue with the town hall and would not be intimidated. Police identify the man as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierzak. I'm Donna Warder.
People who knew Alex Preddy, the VA nurse killed by federal agents in Minneapolis over the weekend, are speaking out in support. Here's CBS's Jared Hill.
More patients are telling stories about Preddy's work as a nurse, trying to show the world who they say he really was, a compassionate caregiver.
He treated every vet like they were his only patient.
On Monday, Preddy's coworkers at the VA hospital held an honor walk in his memory, and the memorial where Preddy was killed continues to grow as Minnesotans pay their respects as well.
The 2 federal agents involved in the deadly shooting have been placed on administrative leave. And there are growing calls for the resignation of DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. Natalie Brand reports on what Democratic lawmakers are proposing.
There's an impeachment resolution that is being pushed by House Democrats. It now has more than 160 people, House Democrats, who have signed on. Keep in mind, they do not control the House, so this is not expected to really move forward. However, it is symbolic.
President Trump has given no indication that Noem's job is in jeopardy. Coming up in a minute, low gas prices, traffic, and weather together.
Consider it done with ABC. Our family's been available.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, Jason, that's wild that Indiana might get all of our teams. Look, it's business. I agree. And I agree with Ms. Zidor. Like, yeah, that seems staged. Wouldn't you go to the hospital, check yourself out, see what kind of chemicals are? Why didn't they say what kind of chemicals it is by now, right? It's weird. We don't know what's happening nowadays. Everybody does everything to do stuff. It's like these ICE raids. You know, the right, the regular right says that the ICE raids are a detraction from the Epstein files. Everybody says that now. It's more and more growing. Where's the Epstein files, right? Why are we dealing with the ICE? Here, let's get this straight. Because I've been attacked by MAGAs all week. I want illegals to be deported. I want ICE to get them. I want ICE to lock people up and deport them. I want ICE. I don't want ICE debanded. I don't want it defunded. I don't want any of that. But I don't want them shooting people in the back, especially Americans. Nah. When you say don't go out and don't go to a protest, you're anti-American. That's what me and Marietta talked about, right? Those are white supremacists. They're the ultra rights. They're the ultra lefts. They don't want us in the middle, regular people, to be part of the decision-making process. They hijack everything. And they yell a lot and they do a lot. Just like with this Bear Stadium. You know what Brandon said in the beginning? Oh, they can go. He said that about the chocolate factory too, Boomer. Oh, they can go. They're all anti. Why are they anti-business? They want to buy up grandmas and Mexicans and blacks and poor whites properties in Chicago that have been paid for, and they want to convert it and flip it into $2 million homes like we showed you 2 weeks ago on Thomas.
The expressways,
That's what they want. Hey, what's up? Hey, haven't seen you in a long time, Nicole. Everything good?
55. That is a crash and cleanup in the right lane. Again, past the Veterans.
I haven't seen you in a long time. Are you okay? I hope you weren't sick and your family's good. Happy New Year, by the way, Nicole.
40 minutes in for Manheim on the outbound.
Yeah, you know, I'm just keep going. I just want to make sure that we have the record straight. I want people to be deported. I want ICE to do their jobs. I don't want ICE to shoot people in the back. That don't make me a libtard. That don't make me a MAGA. That makes me SubX.News John Kugler guy, right? Normal. That makes me a normal person who thinks regularly, not flip-flopping between two sides. See, that's what they want. They want to manipulate us and use emotions. I got some stories we're going to talk about in the next few days. I've been talking with some other people that I work with to publish, okay? Let's listen to the news.
Swains River Bridge, a rollover crash there, a white sedan that ended up on its roof. 2 right lanes are blocked eastbound at the Swains River Bridge, leaving just the left lane open. You can use US 6 or US 52 instead. At Gapers Delay westbound, your backup starts at US 30, and delays on 8094 on both sides toward Indianapolis Boulevard. A crash getting cleaned up westbound on the shoulder. Your next traffic report from the Metro Traffic Center, 448 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather forecast. We'll have a partly cloudy sky for tonight. Bone chilling again down to 2 above 0. Brisk and frigid tomorrow. Clouds and sun, the high 16. Very cold tomorrow night. Partly to mostly cloudy down to 5. And then see some lake effect snow Friday into Saturday.
You got it, Mizidor. All those black people that lost their houses in the 2008 crash. You know, there was a lawsuit in Minneapolis that said that was illegal. You know, Chicago didn't do nothing. Imagine this. Now let's listen to the news and I'll talk about that.
There's a new call for Illinois lawmakers to ensure that state workers are protected from extreme cold and extreme heat on the job.
No one's body is expendable. No one's labor is disposable. And no one is worth less just because of the job that they do.
But employment and labor attorney Danya Mutabagil says that is the harsh reality for many Illinois workers.
As the law stands now, I see no real protections for workers against extreme heat and cold conditions. Nothing that I can do.
Marietta, you're famous. I quoted you in our interview yesterday. Did you see that? That was some good stuff you talked about. People should look at my article from yesterday. Marietta hit it out of the ballpark yesterday. She's a home run hitter.
Peters chairs the Senate Labor Committee.
Nobody should ever have to worry about getting frostbite on the job or getting heat exhaustion on the job. Workers are not something to be grounded up and disposed of. These are amazing people who have families, who live life, who live a vibrant life. And it is our job to protect them, to give them the safety and the dignity that they deserve. And so this is a vital piece of legislation.
In Pilsen, Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Today marks 40 years since the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger, which killed 7 astronauts shortly after liftoff.
72 seconds after launch,
the vehicle has exploded.
CBS's Christopher Glenn.
Debris falling out of the sky, falling slowly, painfully, tragically slowly toward the Atlantic Ocean.
The investigation showed NASA was warned that booster seals could fail in cold weather, but pressed to launch anyway, having normalized and accepted it because the joints hadn't failed before. Normalization of trouble was also blamed for the Columbia accident 17 years later. Retired astronaut Bob Cabana says NASA has learned its lesson as it prepares to send astronauts to the moon.
We need an environment where folks feel free to speak up without
fear of retribution when things aren't right.
Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
2026 election year is here.
That's what the guy just said. He just said it. The disaster, God rest the souls of the astronauts that passed away. I remember watching that on TV. That was wild. We don't have a right to say what we want. We get attacked by everybody nowadays. You just seen the attacks against me, right? I had close friends saying, oh, I'm disappointed in you. I didn't think you were that way. Like, what are you talking about? I can't say what I feel. I can't say my mind. I'm an immigrant. I believe in deportation. What are you talking about? I don't believe in shooting people in the back, but then I get attacked. I was just attacked on Instagram that I was called a Nazi on Instagram when my grandpa used to kill Nazis in World War II. Kind of wild, isn't it? Oh, by a CTU member, by the way. That works at Curie High School. Yeah, brother, I'm going to have you removed as a teacher. Yeah, you got the First Amendment right, but you ain't got a right to be doing the weird stuff like that, targeting people and calling us Nazis when we do our work. You don't got a right to do that. No, you don't.
On Advent founder Dr. Candle.
Just because I don't agree with your tactics, that you shouldn't be doing certain things, right? You shouldn't be activating people to go get shot in the back, and I shouldn't be shooting people in the gut. Both people are in trouble, I say.
258-7050.
All right, we got a special treat today. I got here on time, I believe. Yeah, you know, I'm tired of that stuff. It's what that guy said on the astronaut. He goes, yeah, we should be free to talk. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? Oh, yeah, you can tell me that I'm wrong, too. That's your freedom of speech. But you can't attack me and tell me I'm this and that. I mean, guess you can. That's freedom of speech. But you kind of get where I'm trying to get to. I don't want to limit anyone's freedom of speech. But you can't punish me because of my freedom. Wow. You guys ready for a beautiful sunset tonight? Oh, my gosh. All right, close your eyes. A surprise is coming. You know, the sun is moving again, right? It moves from the horizon, right? Everybody knows that, right? Yeah, it's horrible. You can't say what you want. You can't think what you want. I don't know about this 10 commandments in a school, I guess. But what happens if you're Muslim, man, right? Oh, we're not a Muslim country. Yeah, but we got Muslims here now. You can't ignore that. That's why you keep the religion out of the schools. Why? Because you can't pick and choose religions. That's our First Amendment right?
PERILLO.com. That's JOE.
That's the point of the First Amendment. Freedom of religion. Okay. How about this? Is this the one we're going to do here, Marietta? You like that view right there? How about that one? Let's watch that window so it's clear, huh? I got the sunset tonight. Maybe we'll do a little bit of meditation music, right? Yeah, timeshares, whatever, brother. This is some meditation music. Who's done any meditation today? And then we'll do the news again, and let's see when's the sunset. Is that beautiful or what? Let me check when the sunset is tonight. Oh man, that's in my eyeballs. I gotta start wearing sunglasses. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, what is this? That you can't say what you want? And I get it. You can say that you don't like me. I get that too, right? But, I mean, we're getting a little too extreme, I think. We need to pull it all into the middle. Chicago sunset. What time is the sunset tonight? 5:01. Oh man, we got 15 minutes. We're gonna listen to a lot of meditation. My phone is jumping all around. It's weird. 5:01 p.m. tonight is the sunset. It's beautiful, isn't it? Go out, get some. We got the sunshine. You know, that's the most best thing you can have in your life. Sunshine and fresh air. That's how they used to cure the old plagues and the tuberculosis. I'm gonna try to get you guys some meditation music here, right? Yeah, you know, we have politicians that say they can't keep the bears here, right? We got our own viewers like Marietta James that say, yeah, we're not dealing with that pick and choose. They're all corrupt. I love what Marietta said there. You should, you know, look at the quotes for what she said yesterday. It's very, very important. You know, she says it. It's corruption, and they want to cover it up, and they're all selfish. They're not looking out for our best interests. These politicians, you know what I mean? They're playing games. You know, Brandon Johnson's on the TV saying he's gonna file lawsuits against the federal government for doing their job. Like, yeah, why don't you keep us safe, my brother? You know what I mean? It's strange, right? They're not doing their jobs. It's weird. Do your jobs. Be the what do you call it? Be the mayor. Don't be you're not the president. You know what I mean? These guys try to do stuff that they're not, and that's the problem, right? But we gotta correct them, right? Let's do some meditation music. Let's relax a little bit today, right? Let's see, where is it? I gotta make sure I don't play the music that gets me copyrighted, right? Copyright-free meditation music. There we go. We're gonna punch that in. Royalty-free. 2 hours of royalty-free music for commercial use. There we go. How about we do that one? I don't know about. I might not have my right phone connected, is what it is, right? Oh, yeah. Connect the phone. There we go. So I got to connect the right phone. There we go. Let's see if this... Oh, man, look at that. Is that nice or what? I got here on time today. There we go. Enjoy it. We're going to relax a little bit. Yes. Misidor, no, he used the Confederate language. He goes, the federal government doesn't have a right to do things inside the states and cities. He used the exact language that the Confederates used in the Civil War. That's what they, imagine that. We had a war where the Confederate Ku Klux Klan racists said, you can't tell us to free the slaves. And now we have supposedly a black mayor. You know, he's supported by the white liberals from Evanston and Oak Park. That's how he got elected to his first commissioner seat. He won against Boykin because of white votes, not black votes. Look at his statistics. That's how he got into power. It's a placeholder place. You have to be careful for these elections. No one watched that election. I did. He gets in, and now he's using the same exact language that the Confederacy and the Ku Klux Klan and the white supremacists use to tell the feds, oh yeah, we're going to keep our slaves. Huh? What? He said it yesterday. We got the video up there. I got the whole video. I got the clip. I just put it up there. He said the federal government can't tell us what to do. We're going to go against them. Like, wow, that's bizarre, man. So what? You're the federal government now? What's up? What's up? We're doing a little meditation here. Ronnie. If you want to call in before the 5 o'clock news, come on and call in, Ronnie. Check in. What you doing? You got my number. Give me a call. Talk for a few minutes, right? Till the 5 o'clock news comes on. What's the temperature today, right? That's a beautiful sunset, ain't it? How you doing, Ronnie? We're doing a little meditation before the 5 o'clock news. You can screenshot my pictures. If you make $1 billion, buy me a nice coffee and a Happy Meal or something. Missy Dort. And we got a little music going with it. We gotta take care of each other. If we don't take care of each other, who is, right?
Home. I was there pretty much any time that I wasn't at my own house, whether it was doing volunteering, going to school for class. I was involved in athletics there.
Kennedy graduated from St. Hubert in 2019, but regularly goes back to visit. So he says he was in utter shock and disappointment when he found out the school would be closing at the end of the school year.
It's really hard to see something like you care so much about just kind of dissolve in front of your eyes.
That's why Kennedy, along with other alumni, started a GoFundMe last week. They've already raised more than $8,500 of their $500,000 goal.
The funds produced are in place to either keep the school open under the Archdiocese or possibly fund a new independent Catholic school if allowed. I think the big thing for people to understand is that your money is going to something good.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
5:08. Time for traffic and weather together on the 8s. Here's Neil.
We have big delays that continue along I-80 on both sides. Near Joliet here, the eastbound side, stop and go before Larkin to the Des Plaines River Bridge, where we had a crash blocking multiple lanes. Sounds like everything has been cleared away now, but still really heavy again as you make your way through. Westbound traffic backed up past US 30 over to Center. In Northwest Indiana, mainly delays westbound on 8094 as you make your way through Gary. On the tollways, I-88, the Ronald Reagan westbound slowing from the York Road Toll Plaza to before Highland, where we had an accident. That has been cleared. Tri-State really heavy southbound past the Mile Long Bridge to before Cicero Avenue. That's crash cleanup on the right shoulder. I-57, a vehicle fire getting cleaned up inbound before 127th. Two right lanes are blocked. You're getting by in the left lane. Traffic is stop and go from the Tri-State. 30 minutes in, you're about the same going out with the Gapers delay. Maybe use Halstead to avoid 57 in the south suburbs for right now. On the Dan Ryan, a couple of issues. First, on the outbound side at the Stevenson, a stall in the left center lane.
I'm sorry that we went through that. I am on a roof. I haven't moved, Jason. Think about this. Think about this, everybody. They just said I have poor internet coverage. Poor. I have 3 internets. I have 3 separate phones. 3 separate internets. I'm on a roof. There's no clouds. None. 0 clouds. I'm on a roof. And they say I have poor internet coverage. Really? Really? I don't think so. How you can have poor internet coverage on a roof? It's kind of strange, ain't it? I bet you they're messing with that from the sky.
A bone-chilling night ahead tonight again with a low of 2 above 0. Tomorrow, high of 16, a low of 5 tomorrow. Then warming up slightly in the 20s for Saturday and Sunday, but we could get a little snow as well. 15 at O'Hare, 12 in Waukegan, 17 Lakefront at 5:10.
Hey, have you seen the winter forecast? Bitter cold, heavy snow. We have to plan a winter getaway.
I'll tell you what we're not doing, traveling abroad. Last time was a nightmare. Passports, flights, layovers, never again.
Perfect. I have the ideal solution. We stay in country and soak up the sun in a truly grand destination. Fairhope, Alabama. The legendary Grand Hotel Golf Resort and Spa Autograph Collection. 2 championship golf courses on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. A world-class spa, pools, tennis, pickleball, croquet, fine dining, and endless activities for the kids. Plus 2-for-1 golf this January and February.
I'm not driving to Alabama.
Relax. There are daily nonstop flights to Pensacola. Just 2.5 hours in the air.
Wow, really? So golf, spa, and sunshine, and no passports required?
Nope. The Grand Hotel in Fairhope. Since 1847, the Grand has been an icon on the Gulf Coast. This winter, stay in the country and vacation in grand style. Visit grand1847.com. That's grand1847.com.
It is 5:11. The news continues, sponsored by AdventKnows.com. People who believe Chicago police may have violated the city's welcoming policies by helping federal immigration agents would have a new avenue to file complaints. This is under a new plan now before the full city council. Members of 2 committees approved a measure placing those complaints under the authority of the city's police oversight agency, which you've probably heard us refer to it as COPA. Humboldt Park Alderperson Jesse Fuente sponsored the measure, which they say is designed to improve accountability.
We're going to treat these complaints the way we treat every single complaint that we receive, and that is with transparency, with urgency, and with a lot of capacity to make sure we get down to the bottom of the complaint.
Alderperson Fuente says the department's received about 24 complaints about police officers' actions around ICE scenes. In Lake Zurich, they are taking a $52 million step to bring Lake Michigan water to town. This past week, village officials authorized revenue bond issues to secure low-interest loans for the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency as part of the transition. The project is scheduled to be completed in mid-2028. However, the first phase is expected to begin before the end of this year, construction of a reservoir and receiving station. A new music festival coming to the West Side this spring.
If you like R&B or you're a house head, you'll want to be at Union Park this Memorial Day weekend for the inaugural Forever Mine Music Festival. Grammy-nominated and multi-platinum R&B artist Keisha Cole is one of the headliners in the lineup with multi-Grammy Award-winning and part of Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland, will also hit the stage with performances from Lloyd and Mario. House music will also be on full display with Grammy-nominated producer Kate Trinata hitting the stage as well. Rap fans will be able to hear classics from Juvenile and Chingy. Forever Mine Music Festival is happening where the old Pitchfork Fest used to take place. Tickets are on sale now. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The world is constantly changing.
And a lot can happen overnight. I'm Cisco Cotto.
And I'm Mai Martinez. Wake up with us tomorrow morning and stay informed.
We'll give you all the news you need to start your day.
On the radio, on the Odyssey app, or just ask your smart speaker to play.
Think about this. Yeah, we were just trying to meditate. Think about it. I'm on a roof. I haven't moved. I have not moved. I got up here. I haven't moved. You don't see any clouds. There's no clouds in the sky. I'm on a roof. And how does my internet get cut off? And all of a sudden it's on now, huh? Kind of strange, isn't it? Really? We hadn't even touched on those issues. We're playing games with people shooting people in the back. Now there's a video of that pretty guy attacking an ICE vehicle, they say, but they don't put the date and time. It's like disinformation, and it's very dangerous because people are lying. You can't shoot a dude in the back. I don't care what he does. If he busts your window, you can't do nothing to people. So now the right wing is saying, there's a video of this pretty guy. He was kicking a ICE agent's car. That's when he busted his ribs a couple of weeks ago. Oh, that's why he got shot. So the guy lies about a video. You're talking about biased is one thing, but when you lie about a video to mischaracterize somebody, those are fascists. Yes, the right has become the fascists. Antifa is anti-fascist. Everybody knows the two. And yes, left wing can be fascist if they go to authoritarianism. But the right is the fascists. When you say it's okay to shoot somebody in the back on the street and then you put up a video saying, oh, he kicked the car 2 weeks ago, that means you're making an excuse for killing people. And you shouldn't do that. First you let the investigation play out, right? What's up, Mizidor? Yeah, we got cut off there for a second.
Friday into Saturday.
Yeah, that was wild there.
And we'll have some lake effect snow showers. Generally expecting 1 to 3 inches for the city, nearby suburbs, but there's going to be locally higher amounts in the most persistent lake.
That was wild. So yeah, that's what we got to look at. Yeah, you see, right, Mizidor? Like, let the investigation go forward. And then I bring it up. It's like anything. It's like when they said George Floyd had fentanyl in his system. Yeah, okay, so he had fentanyl. He had a counterfeit bill. But you kind of put your knee on his neck and you kind of killed him, bro. Oh, no, it was fentanyl. Fentanyl wasn't the knee on his neck, my brothers and sisters. How about this? How about Laquan McDonald? You shot him how many times again? 16 times while he was on the ground. Oh, he was on PCP with a knife. Not when you shot him 16 times, he wasn't. He fell down the first shot. Then you shot him a second time. Then you shot him 14 more times. Kind of wild, isn't it? How people make excuses for the violence they see. It's extreme, and there's words about that we have to be careful for people who do that, because they desensitize us. What's up? And they use situations to take control of people, right? That's what they do. What's going on now, Marietta? What do we need to pray for? What do you got going on, sister?
Of course, the Ravens offensive coordinator and Heisman Trophy finalist Diego Pavia is drawing doubt over his height measurement at the Senior Bowl. Listed as an even 6 feet tall by Vanderbilt, Pavia checked in at 5'9" and 7/8. No quarterback has ever been drafted to the NFL shorter than 5'10" in the modern era. With sports at 16 and 46, I'm Chris Emma of The Score, coming February 2nd to 104.3 FM on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Right, 5:18. Thanks, Chris. Traffic and weather together is sponsored by Grand Appliance. Here's Neil Fiorito.
All right, guys, we'll start on the
right time today.
Really heavy outbound from the Chamber interchange to the Stevenson. An earlier stall we had in that area has cleared, so the lanes are open again. Past that, you're heavy from 43rd out to the split. 45 outbound, 23 inbound. Massive delays continue on I-57 on both sides. Coming inbound, traffic is creeping along from the Tri-State to before 127th Street. That's where a vehicle fire is getting cleaned up in the right lane, just the left lane getting by, and you a lot of traffic outbound. That's a Gabrus delay. 27 to drive out to I-80. You may want to get over to Halstead and use that as an alternate. Looking at the tollways, the Tri-State, a pretty big delay. Southbound past the Mile Long Bridge to before 127th Street. Crash cleanup there on the right shoulder. I-80 still big delays through Joliet. Earlier crash activity we had in the area of the Des Plaines River Bridge has cleared. 8094 especially heavy westbound as you make your way through Gary. Back to the expressways in your travel time on the Edens, 38 in, 17 out. Kennedy outbound, 22 to Montrose. Hit the express, you're going to save 5 minutes. 40 to the airport and 52 minutes to drive in. Eisenhower outbound, 50 to Mannheim, and hour 12 to head out to I-90. Hour 5 in, you're 38 in from Mannheim. On I-55, the Stevenson outbound, 35 to the Midway exit at Cicero Avenue. 50 to the Tri-State, hour 8 to 355, and 38 minutes inbound. Looking at the Bishop Ford on the way out, just a little sluggish, approaching 130th Street. DuSable Lake Shore Drive delays on either side near Chicago Avenue through Grant Park, and you have a backup southbound as you make your way into Hyde Park. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop top brands like Electrolux, Frigidaire, and more during the New Year New Appliance Sale. At Grand Appliance, get hundreds in savings you won't find anywhere else. Visit grandappliance.com or your local showroom today. That's Grand Appliance, appliance experts since 1930. Your next report's at 5:28. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Bone chilling again tonight. Lows in the single digits, 2 above 0, barely. A high tomorrow at 16. Right now we have 15 at O'Hare, 19 Joliet, 17 Lakefront. West winds now at 14 miles an hour. It's 5:20. Our top story this hour, Indiana's Senate has taken another big step in the state's effort to convince the Bears to build a new stadium in the state. We're going to have more on this story coming up at 5:31. A local baseball team has sewn up a marketing agreement with a major financial institution.
The White Sox are the latest Major League Baseball team to include sponsorship patches on the uniform. The team announced a multi-year deal with CME Group. Their patches will appear on all home, road, and alternate uniforms. Mark Gaddis, president of Sports Corp Limited in Chicago, tells the New Business Hour that the sponsorship deal allows the White Sox to showcase the city's economic might.
This has multiple benefits for the White Sox. Yes, it's financial, but also it's tying in with one of the largest financial markets on the planet.
CME Group CEO Terry Duffy is a Southwest Side native and Leo High School graduate. The Cubs reached a uniform patch agreement with Motorola in 2024. Rob Hart, News Radio 105.9 WBDM.
5:21, time for healthy eating.
Fueling before a workout is important, especially for women who need to meet certain nutritional requirements. I'm Dr. Hammy Choi from Loyola Medicine with Healthy Eating. Women have unique nutritional needs due to hormonal fluctuations, menstrual cycles, pregnancy, breastfeeding, and menopause, which can affect their metabolism, bone density, and overall health. Some important nutrients that women should include in their diet are iron, calcium, vitamin D, and folate for women of childbearing age to support fetal development. Healthy eating before a workout should focus on incorporating these nutrients. Some examples include whole grain toast with banana slices, a smoothie with spinach, or avocado on whole grain crackers. This can help deliver healthy fats and fiber for longer lasting energy, which will help fuel the body efficiently and effectively. For more information, go to loyolamedicine.org/nutrition. I'm Dr. Hammy Choi for News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
FinishingChicago.com's decorative finishing contractors can transform.
That's nice now as it goes. You know, we just got to keep moving no matter what happens, right? We got a lot of distractions in our world today. And we got to realize that. Yeah, this is what I got to say. If in 2026 I'm on a rooftop and I lose my signal, something else is wrong. It's not the signal. We never used to lose our signals when we were at home with a landline. I was told I'm stupid when I lose my signal in downtown because they said the buildings bounce, whatever. Then I was told I was stupid when I'm out in the country. They said, you're stupid. There's no internet out there. Well, right now, I'm in, where is it? I'm in Clybourne Corridor. I'm on a roof. There's no clouds and I lost signal. So what does that mean? That is not me. It's not me. I don't change my phones. I don't change the internet. I don't have my own satellites. I don't change the settings in my phones. I don't do any of that. That means something else is affecting us. And I think that goes to the broader issues of what Mizidor said, these shenanigans. When you make an excuse for killing any man, that's wrong. And if you're a Christian making that excuse, that's extremely bad. Because Christians aren't supposed to do that. Yet, on every one of these guys who say it's okay to kill somebody, they say they're a Christian. They're Christian. They're Christian. Now we got to start thinking about what kind of Christian they are. Oh, they might be one of those white Christians with sheets and crosses and burn them in your backyard. Those Christians. Then they call those guys Christians too. The Knights of Columbus, right? Or something like that. Christians, right? They had a cross, didn't they? Don't those people have a cross? Ku Klux Klan. They burn a cross. They pretend they're Christians by promoting hate, promulgating hate. And they wrote about this about 30 years ago. There was a lot of people that wrote about this topic. It's just like the alt-left, like the terrorists that have taken over downtown in Chicago. Brandon Johnson is a domestic terrorist. He hangs around with Bill Ayers. Bill Ayers killed people with bombs. That's a known thing. There was a video of him and Bill Ayers. They removed the video from YouTube. I have the video. I posted it multiple times. They removed the video of Brandon Johnson with a domestic terrorist. Jackson Carter, the vice president of the union, is a domestic terrorist. His dad still meets with Bill Ayers. His dad still meets with him. They still plan on what they do. So we have to start thinking, where are we at in society? Are we reliving the 1960s fight? The grandpa's wars between the hippies and the army people? Man, I don't want to be fighting grandpa's wars, man. You kind of get, Knights of Columbus. No, I don't mean that, but what is the one they call? Oh, the Ku Klux Klan uses a name. Not Knights of Columbus. It's something else. Knights of something. You guys got to look it up. I don't know what it's called. But they use names and they attach it to religions. They attach it to race. They attach it to ethnicities to elicit emotional responses, right? The left, ultra left are guilty of it. The ultra right are guilty of it. They're both guilty of it. But the problem is when these people get into our government and it gets normalized, right? When you have people that go into the government and they say something before the facts are even known. I'm on the spot reporting. I say what I see. I don't know what the facts are until I get a report. All I can tell you is what I see. That's why we call our news on the spot reporting, right? I tell you what happened to me in my video, right? And my internet. Right? Knights of Templar, I don't know what it's called, right? It's Knights of something, right? We all know that. They all use these different names, these Ku Klux Klan racists, right? They're racist. Just like a fascist, just like these people who want to harm people. Think about this. Pol Pot in Cambodia, he was a communist. He killed people. Communists kill people too. Stalin killed people, right? Hitler killed people, right? So the Iranian mullahs, these guys who are supposed to be Muslims, right? And Islams, they kill people. Right? So what are you telling me? That religion is great and then now the Indiana wants to put the 10 Commandments into schools? Like, yeah, okay. But I agree on that. We need some religion in our schools. But here's the point. Which religion do we pick? Which religion do we pick, right? Which one do we pick? Which one is the one that we're going to follow, right? Which one is the one that we say is okay? That's the problem. And who gets to pick? See, that's where we're at now in our society. I keep saying this left and right. They're yelling and screaming, and we're in the middle. It's like when you have multiple kids. I have 4 kids, right? And the kids start yelling at each other, right? Kids start yelling. Everybody who has kids knows what I'm talking about. Who broke that jar? Who ate that? Who spilled that? And they start screaming at each other. First of all, it don't fix the broken thing, right? Second thing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which side is screaming because the thing is broken. And that's where we're at right now. That's what I want to get to before the 5:30 news comes on, because that's the local news. We have a broken system where factions and extremists are running our city. I don't know about JB. He's just a billionaire guy, right? But he's an extremist capitalist, right? He does weird stuff too. And we have extremists in the White House. And the rest of us are looking around going, man, dude, I can't even watch a sunset with meditation music on the roof. Yeah, all right, let's listen to the 5:30 news, okay? And then maybe we'll get out of here, right?
Partly cloudy, 15 degrees at 5:29.
Every morning, we rise and shine. Make breakfast.
All right. Did we fix the Flint, Michigan water? Have we fixed our water in Chicago? Do we have good food? Do we have good cars? Right? Did these things, the simple things that we need every day. Or is our school system fixed? Can black kids and brown kids read in our city? No. All the facts say they don't. They're falling behind. Yet white people, white liberals are running our school system, and the worst people that are being harmed is the black and the brown kids. Why? Because they want to enslave them, right? It's a form of slavery. Malcolm X talks about it. Malcolm X said this, and then I'll go to the news. I rather know the Ku Klux Klan guy because I know the Ku Klux Klan guy hates me, right? But the worst one is the white liberal who smiles and says he's my friend. Yeah, that's Malcolm X's quote.
have a man in custody in the killing of a woman, but are looking for help gathering more evidence.
Governor Pritzker says President Trump is using federal immigration agents as his own, quote, political police force. Plus, the Department of Homeland Security offering an update on the agents who shot and killed Alex Preddy over the weekend. Sports, Bulls in Indiana to take on the Pacers. In business,
very modest gains on Wall Street today, even as the Federal Reserve leaves interest rates unchanged. The Dow up 12, the Nasdaq up 40, the S&P just a fraction lower. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
15 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and the news continues, sponsored by AdventNews.com. Lawmakers in Indiana are moving the ball in their attempt to lure the Chicago Bears away from the state of Illinois. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz reports on the latest vote.
Bears fans who hear the number 27 might think of Super Bowl-era defensive back Mike Richardson.
Mike Richardson made the hit.
That was his number. State senators in Indiana have overwhelmingly approved Senate Bill 27, which calls for the Hoosier State to build a football stadium in Northwest Indiana and then rent it to the Bears with an option to buy. The Bears say they want to build a new stadium on the site of the old Arlington Park, which they own, but they want to be able to negotiate property taxes on that land. That would require a change in state law. State lawmakers have not voted to do that. Arlington Heights Mayor Jim Tenalia told Mully and Haw on our sister station The Score last week that if he was the governor of Indiana, he'd be doing everything he could to get the team over the state line.
I'm building stadiums. I'm making tax situations, strong in their favor. I take it very seriously.
The Bears issued a statement that in part calls the vote a positive and significant step. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
A day after a woman was found dead, police in West Suburban Oswego now have a suspect in custody.
Officers used a drone and canines in their search for a man seen running across Wolf's Crossing Road yesterday. That was after they found a woman dead inside a home on Valentine Way shortly after 1 p.m. The department says they stopped a driver matching the suspect's description and took him into custody. Police Chief Jason Baston took to Facebook to reassure neighbors.
We have a suspect in custody. The suspect and victim knew each other. This is an isolated incident, and there is no danger to the public.
He says police continue to search for evidence and encourage residents of Prescott Mill, Hudson Point, and Echelon to go over any surveillance video they may have to help in their investigation. An autopsy is planned on the woman for tomorrow. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Governor Pritzker says the latest deadly shooting by ICE agents in Minneapolis is more evidence that the Trump administration is using immigration enforcement for partisan political purposes. The governor told reporters in the Loop that last weekend's shooting death of Alex Preddy is another example of how agents are, in his words, abusing people's constitutional rights. He says President Trump's approach to ICE and border protection needs to be dismantled.
We need to have people who are actually professionally prepared to do law enforcement, and instead of taking away people's constitutional rights. The First, the Fourth, the Fifth, the 10th Amendments, these are all under attack just by ICE and CBP.
And he says everyone involved in those abuses needs to be held accountable. DHS is now sharing an update on the 2 federal agents that shot and killed Alex Preddy.
The Department of Homeland Security says the 2 agents have been on administrative leave since Saturday. A spokesperson says 3 days of administrative leave is standard policy for officer-involved shootings. The agents did not lose their gun, badge, or pay. A few days ago, Greg Bomino, the head of Border Patrol, told reporters at a news conference that the agents were on duty but had been relocated away from Minneapolis for their own safety. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A man accused of squirting an unknown substance on Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar at a town hall in Minneapolis has a criminal history. CBS's Zach Hudak has more on the investigation into 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierczak.
Some things they could be pursuing are assaulting a member of Congress, which would carry a maximum of 10 years in prison. They could also be pursuing assaulting a federal officer, which this could be argued was a case of because Omar was conducting a town hall, an official duty of a member of Congress. That actually has a potential penalty of up to 20 years.
Minnesota court records show that Kazmierczak was convicted of felony auto theft in 1989 and has multiple arrests for driving under the influence. Democratic senators are vowing to oppose a funding bill for the Department of Homeland Security after the recent deaths in Minnesota. It's a stance that increases the prospect of a partial government shutdown by the end of this week.
After the killing of Alex Preddy in Minnesota, Senate Democrats say they will not support funding the agency that oversees Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, unless reforms are put in place.
The Senate must not pass the DHS budget as currently written.
Congress has already passed 6 bills to fund various sectors of the government, but 6 more remain.
It also comes as House Democratic leaders believe Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem should be fired or face impeachment proceedings. And a district attorney is looking for a summer trial in Luigi Mangioni's state murder case ahead of his federal trial.
Manhattan prosecutors are urging a judge to set a July 1st trial date in Luigi Mangioni's state murder case in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. That's 2 months before the slated start of jury selection in his federal death penalty case. In a letter Wednesday, an assistant district attorney argued that the state's interests would be unfairly prejudiced by an unnecessary delay until after the federal trial. The Manhattan DA's office raised the scheduling issue days after a U.S. district judge said jury selection in the federal case will begin on September 8th, with the rest happening either in October or January, depending on whether the judge allows prosecutors to seek the death penalty. Julie Walker, New York.
Coming up in a minute, low gas prices. Check on traffic, weather, and gas prices, as we said.
A lot of stuff going on. So we're not even talking about a guy who comes up behind the CEO of the healthcare person and kills him, right? Right. We're seeing a lot of killings on the videos, right? And then there's a part of that is in the old days they wouldn't do that. Now we do that because it's news and people should know it. But also because we have access to it. It's like the people said about that Preddy shooting. If there wasn't videos, we wouldn't know what happened. But did the video cause that guy to be dead because he was videotaping in the area, right? You know, it's like a chicken and the egg kind of a discussion, right? What comes first? Well, yeah. In the end, people shouldn't be dying. That's what me and Ms. Zedora are talking about, Christians, right? And if I misspeak about certain things, correct me, right? But look, I'm not an anti-Christian, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people who say they're Christians and they believe in killing people. Like, yeah, that ain't right. I mean, didn't they have like the Crusades in Europe about that? Didn't they like go against a bunch of people? So we got to put all these things in perspective. And again, who's running what? Who's running the news media? You all know who's running SubX. It's me. I'm talking. John Kugler. You can track me, man. I lived in the city all my life. You can track what I've done. You can check who I am. You can check where I work. You can check my salaries. All my past salaries are on the internet. There's nothing to hide about me. I work with these people in McKinley Park Development Council, the guys that fired me after I broke the story on the toxic waste camp. I broke that story, by the way, where the migrants were going to live on 38th in California. That was my story. I broke that. And no matter what you want to hear about anybody else, and they did all these investigations, that's all none. It was me. That was my story. They actually said, we don't want our addresses known. I said, but you got to know your address, because if you say you're on a development council for the neighbor, people have to know if you lived here and how long you lived here. And they said no, and they erased their addresses off the internet. That's how it is nowadays. And half the council, the ones that fired me, didn't even come from the neighborhood. They're from I think one was from Minneapolis or Michigan. He's one of these professors that teaches like they do up there. I don't know what you want to call it. It's social activism, maybe, or anti-governmentism. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of strange how, I talked about this before, the North and the South have flipped, where the South used to be anti-government, and there's still a lot of people in the South that are anti-government, but it seems like the North has become anti-government now. It seems like a lot of people from the South, or some kinds of influences, have gone to the North, and that doesn't mean there hasn't been racism in Chicago or in Minneapolis or Michigan or Wisconsin, but it's starting to become more prominent. And especially in places that they call liberals, they're really racist, man. You need to go to some places and look how people act. look how they live, and you start to see them, and you say, yeah, is this inclusive or is it exclusive? You kind of get it? This is some radio calls. I think I'm going to try to get some radio calls going, right? Let's see how this works. There we go. Some crime.
07829, 07829. Next year that was trying to come in.
7389 David.
89 David, go ahead.
Sorry, that number for me on the red light.
07837, 07837.
73680.
8680.
Get 1 on the red line.
07870 with 098.
3214.
3214.
Yeah, so I was knocking out the table. I'm actually not too far from that. And you 12 wants to take the wave off. I also knock that report out and just throw me on there.
Alright, 3212. You want to take a wave off? 14 says he'll handle it.
1299, I'll still put that wave, just in case.
Alright, 4.
7389, boy.
I had 2 units coming in.
7384, boy.
84, boy.
Yes, I can get 2 events upper and lower at the 95th red line north.
08098, 098, and 08101, 08101.
7353.
7353.
Number for Howard West, please.
08107, 08107.
7383 David, number for Roosevelt Redline, please.
Alright, who wanted a number for Redline Roosevelt?
7383 David.
08117, 08117.
7386 boy.
86 boy.
For Untitled Lake, please.
08122, 08122.
7383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
29th in the red, please.
08139, 08139.
4734.
4734.
Good afternoon, Karen Citywide.
Good afternoon.
$32.12.
3212.
Yeah, I'm seeing, can we get EMS rolling? She's complaining, one of the units is complaining, her head hurts.
Alright, and Lakeshore Drive at Randolph is a good address?
36 north, southbound lane.
36 North Lakeshore, okay.
And then can we also get a reload started this way too?
Okay, work.
It's a 12 in Citywide. I got a person with a gun, 1860 South Blue Island, 1860 South Blue Island, Jacqueline calling. Says a female from the neighborhood brandished a gun at her, threatened to get her son, can't get her. He's male Hispanic, late 30s, dark complexion, tattoo on the face, black hoodie and 100 green pants. But eastbound on 19th and 100 green Jeep Cherokee. She struck a parked car, became angry, and she took a picture of his vehicle. She already made a report to ARP, nothing further, station clear.
Adam.
Get on 95th red line. Can I get one from north side against south side?
08236, 08236, south is 08240. 08240.
7368.
8690.
One for Howard West.
08250. 08250.
7389 Adam.
89 Adam.
One of them for Roseville Upper.
08272. 08272.
387 Adam.
87 Adam.
Right here, Blue Line platform. Can I get a van number?
Alright, Blue Line where?
Here's one.
Alright, 08311. 08311.
4 thanks.
You're welcome.
Exit Adam. Get in the van. Red light going here. 08343. 08343.
714 units in 7 in citywide. Press with a gun. 5508 South Walcott. 5508 South Walcott. Caller said the ex-boyfriend has a gun and he hit her. They're both intoxicated. Another further. Zone 6.
86 David. Chicago Red Line Station. The van number, please. Second van number 08363. 08363. Anybody near 18th and Lakeshore Drive? I got a hit and run crash. 18th Lakeshore Drive. John called, said auto accident. Caller was chasing the male. This caller stated he thinks the male pulled out a gun on him. This states yes, male has a gun. So they did not make it a person with a gun, even though they said they had the guy had a gun. Then they went on to say it was a blue Tesla versus a black Corolla. They gave the plate male black green hat, black ski mask, leather black gloves, got off of Columbus hit and run. Driver also hit 4 other cars. But there's no damage to his vehicle. It does nothing that makes sense. You know what? Let's kick this back to the district. 7373. 7373. Have a VIN number 469 and the red line, please. 08373. Did you get it? 3215, you north-south potential on the drive. I am North Avenue, Southwood. North. 3214, you north-central, I'm sorry, you south potential on the drive. I'm central, but I'm currently having 2 auto accidents right now.
Multiple accidents you hear, right?
Yeah, it might be 3. Where's the other one? I'm not. No, I'm just fixing my board so I know where everyone is when I get ready to call on the job. I ain't got to guess at it. That's all I'm doing. 3212, you south on the drive? 39th all the way to the south end, 63rd, 65th. That's south. Okay. Do I have anybody besides 12, 14, and 15 on Lakeshore Drive? That's all I got. No Barbara? No Barbara. No.
And it's a 16 and citywide getting an assault in progress, 3553 North Central, and Cucharos, JJ Peppers, irate offender threatening the staff because he was asked to leave for aggressively panhandling, male white adult, dark blue jacket, yellow, dark blue pants, no weapons visible, zone 1 to 16 clear.
3212. 12. Yeah, I'm transporting 2 individuals from the crash to 60th and Prairie, 712 miles.
Alright, it's 1624.
7363.
7363.
Well, let me get a transfer picked up for Roosevelt, red.
08412. 08412.
7364.
So there's supposed to be a bunch of criminals out here on Black Hawk and Sedgwick. We're going to take a look over here. It's 5:50 p.m., January 28, 2026. We're going southbound on Sedgwick from north. We're going to look around here. They're supposed to they sell drugs, they do prostitution and everything. We're going to look around here, right? Where was that at?
On Sam, I was checking out.
Alright, we're getting a battery in progress over 15 West 69th Street. It's a red line. CTA is calling it in, saying there's 15 people fighting on the platform.
On Sam, I was checking out.
Alright, thank you.
So is this a fresh call or is this the one from 10 minutes ago?
No, this is a new one.
Alright.
What was that?
Radio 1 you said fighting on the platform? So is this a fresh call or is this the one from 10 minutes ago?
Alright, we're getting a battery in progress over 15 West 69th Street. It's a red line. CTA is calling it in, saying there's 15 people fighting on the platform.
On Sam, I was checking out.
Alright, thank you.
So is this a fresh call or is this the one from 10 minutes ago?
No, this is a new one.
Alrighty. Radio 1 you said fighting on the platform?
Yeah, that's what it says. CTA says there's 15 people fighting on the platform.
Alright, 10-4, no one's on the platform fighting. Looks like K9 security were alerted of something, maybe possibly been on a train, but the platform is all good.
Okay, 10-4, thank you. 334 units in 3 in Citywide, getting a call of a person with a gun, 7042 South Chappelle. On the 3rd floor, anonymous states 2 male blacks are beating a male with a gun in the hallway. Got no furthers on 7.
So we're here on Black Hawk and Sedgwick looking for criminal activity.
4 squad, my number for Cumberland, Blue Line.
08455. 08455.
Number 362.
7362.
Yes, find a number for a pickup at Rose Salt Red also.
08458. 08458.
7387 Adam.
87 Adam.
Blue Line, got number.
08477. 08477.
4, thank you. #383 David.
83 David.
Red line check for Roosevelt, please.
08489. 08489. 5700 Adam.
Go for it.
Adam.
Adam, you calling?
Yeah, did you see that the district finally figured out that plate from that carjacking over at 12200 South Perry?
Yes, copy. We put it on the list. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alright.
7383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Be nice in the red, please.
08524. 08524.
73 to 7 Adam.
73 5387, Adam.
Forest Squad, District 6 Park, blue line, can I get that van number?
08535, 08535.
City.
8690. 08596, 08596. Alright, I couldn't copy any of that. Where are you?
95th and the red line, pick it out, that number, north and south.
Alright, north 08604, 08604. South 08606, 08606.
Three 93 Charlie.
93 Charlie.
Take it on by Clinton Blue Line.
The 08615, 08615.
7397 David.
97 David.
They get a number for a street stop, Sharon, right?
08622, 08622. Units at 24 and on this citywide, it's an assault in progress. 2836 Devon, 2836 Devon. Get a call who says there's a male Middle Eastern in front of the office, banging on the windows, being threatening, swearing, and threatening gestures. No weapon, saying however he is known to carry a knife. Unknown, drinking or drugs. He's wearing a dark brown jacket, blue jeans. Nothing further, zone 11.
$3212.
3212.
Yeah, arrived at the location, 720 on the mouth.
1643.
7393, David.
7393, David.
Maybe they're sitting in those cars, Marietta. I don't see that much activity here. I'm gonna go around the block. I'm at Blackhawk and Sedgwick. There's supposed to be drug dealing and prostitution happening here. I don't see too much movement. Maybe they're not out right now. It's 5:58 p.m. January 28, 2026. I'm at Blackhawk and Sedgwick.
Chicago red line.
08673, 08673.
We're going to listen to the news. 6 o'clock news.
Prosecutors say a Facebook marketplace sale sparked the killing of a pregnant mother this week.
Mayor Johnson says he's concerned about the city of Chicago hosting back-to-back Democratic national conventions. Plus, the FBI conducts a raid related to 2020 election numbers at Fulton County, Georgia's election offices. The latest on that coming up from CBS News Sports. Bulls in Indiana to take on the Pacers.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Stocks edging mostly higher today, not by much though. The Dow up 12, the Nasdaq up 40, the S&P down a fraction.
15 degrees now, partly cloudy skies. It is 6 o'clock.
Is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The FBI executes a search warrant at the Fulton County, Georgia election hub that a county spokesperson says is connected to the 2020 election. Democratic State Senator Josh McLaurin.
This is extremely alarming. I think Fulton County and Georgia in general are tired of being being the target of Donald Trump's narcissism. That's all this is about, and he's dispatching federal officials at the highest levels of government to try to vindicate his agenda. Local FBI office, as far as I'm aware, is not involved.
CBS News has learned of a development regarding the officers involved in the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy. And this comes as CBS's Ian Lee says Operation Metro Surge is still in full effect in Minneapolis, with new arrests happening every day.
CBS News has learned the federal agents involved in Saturday's deadly shooting of Alex Preddy have been placed on administrative leave. President Trump's border czar Tom Homan is in Minneapolis leading the ongoing immigration operation.
I don't care who you are, get back in your vehicle.
Wednesday, federal agents threatened to arrest an Associated Press cameraman as he was documenting an operation.
Meantime, a federal judge in Minnesota has blocked the Trump administration from arresting or detaining refugees living in Minnesota while they await a ruling on resident status. Senators are on Capitol Hill trying to avoid another government shutdown, but Democrats are threatening to block more funding for Homeland Security because of the two deadly shootings by immigration agents in Minnesota. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer.
Republicans must work with Democrats to find legislative solutions to restore order and public safety. Congress has the authority and the moral obligation to act. What's missing is Republican will to act.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
In my view, at least, and I think the view of all of us, we ought to pass the package on the floor, fully fund the government, and move on to other things that the American people expect us to work on.
The deadline to pass the spending bill is Friday. The Federal Reserve holds its key interest rate steady at about 3.6%. Chairman Jerome Powell.
Having lowered our policy rate by 75 basis points over the course of our previous 3 meetings, we see the current stance of monetary policy as appropriate to promote progress toward both our maximum employment and 2% inflation goals.
Just under 340,000 customers from Texas to Kentucky are still without power after the latest winter storm. CBS's Katie Weiss is at the Ole Miss campus in Mississippi.
Even though there was some sunshine yesterday, the ice is still very thick. Now, this morning, we counted dozens of students and members of the Oxford community that were still sleeping in the student union to stay warm because they're still without power.
This is CBS News. Follow and listen to the official 48 Hours After Show.
So they're raiding voting offices in Georgia, I guess, if there's evidence there. That's kind of strange. That's 6 years ago, ain't it? Yeah. You know, Trump has to be careful for that. He might die in prison if he keeps doing that. Because just like he's doing when the Democrats get in, but this is the problem with having extremists in power. Those are people underneath Trump. I don't know, maybe it's Trump doing it. Same thing with Brandon Johnson, extremist, right? When you do these things, it normalizes extremism. So if a Democrat now gets into office, in the presidency, he's going to do or she's going to do the same thing. That's the problem with that. Do you know the first day in office, Brandon Johnson passed 4 executive orders establishing 4 new departments with 4 new heads, with 4 new budgets without city council approval, and now it's embedded into the system. Do you think the next mayor is going to remove that? Absolutely not. Do you think the next mayor is going to remove a 150-man security detail? Absolutely not. That's the problem we're having. That's the problem we're having. Yeah, Marietta, you missed it. I was over at your house for about 20 minutes. I didn't see no prostitution. I didn't see no drugs. I didn't see no gangs. Maybe they were resting today. But I was at your corner today. I was just over there, so.
East Anglia has developed an MRI to measure blood oxygen.
These are painless scans.
It's on the video.
The patient is just lying inside a magnet for around 10 to 15
Yeah,
minutes.
I was just at Sedgwick and Blackhawk, Marietta. I was there for about 20 minutes, so you can rewind the video if you want.
Reports quarterly earnings that topped market expectations as revenue grew along with investments in artificial intelligence. The parent of Facebook and Instagram says it made a profit of nearly $23 billion on revenue of nearly $60 billion in the recently ended quarter. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It is 6:05 on this Wednesday, the 28th of January. Good evening. I'm John Welty in for Lisa Fielding. Thanks for joining us on your evening commute. Just 14 degrees right now in Chicago under partly cloudy skies, and that frigid weather will continue for a couple of more days. We're going to a low of just 2 above overnight and really won't see a measurable warm up until Saturday. AccuWeather 5-day forecast is just ahead, but first our top local story on News Radio WBBM. Prosecutors say the murder of a pregnant woman and an apartment fire in Downers Grove this week all stemmed from a Facebook Marketplace meetup. That story from WBBM's Andy Dane.
So, when they bully you, they get out of the car and then bully you? Is that how they do it? I don't know. I need to figure this out, because I didn't see no drug deals and I didn't see no prostitution. I was just there for almost a half hour. So, I need to know what's going on so I know what to look for. And if they're bullying you, how do they bully you from the car? Did they get out? Are they men? Are they women? Do they wear hoodies? Do they do gang activity? Because I haven't seen that. I've been there the last 2 weeks. I've been there at least 3 times, and I haven't seen anything yet, Marietta. I'm looking for it, right? And I know they can hide, but I need to know what I'm looking for. That way I can see it, okay? So make sure No, I was just there, Marietta. I was just there. I was just there. It was live on the video. There was nothing happening. There was no movement. There was no drug dealing. There was no prostitution. There was nothing. I was just there. You can rewind the tape.
24 Democratic National Convention. Instead, he says his concern is rooted in the potential involvement of federal law enforcement during the 2028 event, given the Trump administration's public criticism of Chicago and Illinois.
What we've seen in cities across America, and more recently in Minneapolis, that to turn over the security of our city to the Trump administration, it's not just me, but there are a number of us that have profound concerns about that.
The Chicago Host Committee's bid is going in while the state Democratic Party pushes to move its 2028 presidential primary earlier, and while Governor J.B. Pritzker weighs a potential run for the White House. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
A large private water company is looking to hike rates.
I'm in the middle of my news segment. I'll call you after the news segment, and I'm going to call you live on the radio, okay? Let me do the news here, okay?
Review of Illinois Americans' rate hike request to state regulators by the Citizens Utility Board. Cub's executive director says it's outrageous. The company wants another increase after 3 others worth $230 million over the last decade. Illinois American serves 1.3 million customers in 148 communities across the state, including West Suburban Lisle. It says the increase will help pay to replace 42 miles of aging pipelines and equipment. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Knowledge is power in today's dynamic economy. Get the edge you need with Bloomberg Business Report.
So we're in Cabrini Green. This is the last of the row houses here. As we heard, Facebook made a profit. And the utilities are making profits, right? Let's see what these cops are doing, right? The cops are blocking this here.
To the junction, a 25-minute ride, Lake Hook to
yeah, I went around the block, Marietta. I went around the block.
Junction to Foster.
I went around the block.
To Lake Hook from Montrose.
So I understand they might be in their cars, but as far as movement, prostitution, and drug dealing, I didn't see any of that today. None. There was no movement. You understand what movement is in crime, right? So I didn't see that today. And I got come back. I know it's just a little snapshot. 20 minutes ain't nothing.
Eisenhower out.
I know that.
Manheim, 55.
That's why you have to tell me what's going on, so I know what to look for.
Charles, Tri-State, Manheim to Harlem, and Western to Jane Byrne Interchange.
But when you have drug dealing, you have movement in traffic. Either they're sitting in their cars and they're dealing drugs out of their cars. You have cars coming up to the car, but you can't do drug deals from car to car. You have to have somebody on the sidewalk. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? Now maybe they're doing it a different way there. I don't know. It might be a new way that they're dealing drugs in your area. That's what I need to learn, right? People learn how to do different things so they don't get busted by the cops. I know that, right? I've seen it, right? So that's all I'm saying. So yeah, I need to. No, I'll give you a call after the news segment.
crews have salted down the road. Use Halsted instead. Delays on 80-94 and I-65 with incidents, but the good news is they're moved off to the shoulder. Next report for the Metro Traffic Center at 6:18. News Radio 105.9 WBVM.
AccuWeather forecast calling for bone-chilling cold again tonight with a partly cloudy skies, a low of just 2 above zero. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, brisk and frigid again with a high of 16. And then Friday, more of the same with a high of 16 yet again. Should see a warm up, but that won't come until Saturday. Right now, though, clear skies, 14 degrees at O'Hare, 15 Midway, 16 Lakefront. A little bit gusty with winds out of the west at 12, making it feel like 3 above. We're going to a low of 2 above overnight. It is 6:11.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S.
Hey, Marietta. Yeah, you're live, by the way. Okay, we're gonna do this live. Okay, so.
Okay.
So I was just there for a half hour. I didn't see no drug dealing. I said, so Marietta, you need to stop and let me explain what I saw.
Okay.
And then you
Okay,
can,
I apologize.
and then you don't need to apologize. I was there for a half hour. I didn't see no drug deal and I didn't see no prostitution. Meaning, I didn't see no one going in and out of any car. Huh?
They mind me now. They mind me now do spiritual warfare.
Yeah, I know that, but so I don't know. Maybe they didn't have no deals and no prostitution when I was there, but I didn't see no one going in and out of no cars. So I don't know. Maybe they're in a different place. Maybe I seen cars. I seen people in cars. I seen people that were inside of cars, but I didn't see no transactions happening. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? So, what time should I go there? Is there another time? I've been there 3 times in the last 2 weeks, by the way, so.
They be in the parking lot, they be parking on the street right here on Nightfall. But mainly they be on safety.
Yeah, I went around the block. I went around
right, you know what happened? When they see you, they leave.
No one left when I was there. It's all live on the video. It's all on video. I don't turn off my video. It's on. When I do crime scenes, actually it's double videoed. I'm live on Twitter and I'm live on Facebook. When I do go to crime scenes, I don't do that. And sunsets, it gets turned off and this and that, I get that. But when I'm at a crime scene, I make sure I tape it. And I didn't see nothing there. Now, maybe they weren't doing nothing today. I don't know. Well, we'll see, right? So I'll keep coming back. But I didn't see any drug dealing. I didn't see no prostitution today. I didn't see no one going in and out of the cars either, okay? And I went around the block. So that's what I'm just trying to tell you. So I don't know. Maybe they're doing different things. Maybe they changed because you reported them. You kind of get what I'm saying?
It's like this. When you leave off to these or something like that, they'll leave. They'll leave. But as soon as you leave, they'll come back.
How do they know what I'm driving? I drive 3 different cars. How do they know what I'm driving? They wouldn't know what I'm driving. They wouldn't know what I'm driving. I'm driving different cars. I don't plan on going there. I never say I'm going there ahead of time. They wouldn't know I'm coming there. And drug dealers usually don't care when I come around. I talk to drug dealers while they're drug dealing. They don't care because I'm not a cop. You kind of get it. So I'll come by again. So you say, where are they? Are they on Sedgwick or are they on Blackhawk? Which street?
They be on both really, but they go from street to street in the parking lot behind here.
All right.
And I also go by Hudson too.
Evergreen. Okay, and on Evergreen, okay. And how did they bully you? Did they yell at you? Did they do gang signs?
They yell from a car outside. I'm in the house. They yell from a car.
Oh, they yell from the car? They yell from the car.
Yeah.
Can you
outside?
Can you audio record their yelling or not? Or it just happens every so often and you just don't.
It happens like a 24. It's like they don't even leave.
Oh, okay. All right. I believe you. I know there's gangs and drugs and criminal activity happening all over the city. I just want to figure out where this is. Because like I said, if it's an issue, then we take care of it. I mean, if you look, I'm going to go downtown now. And then I'm going to go do my thing later on because I got a movie night tonight with my kid. I'll show you downtown. It's cleaned up because I went and for 3 years I've been covering downtown and showing the drug spots. And there have been killings and murders. And finally they cleaned up the places. Is it fixed? I don't know. I don't know if it's fixed downtown. But I know the regular drug spots that I used to see aren't there anymore. So that's what I'm saying, right? If there's an issue, then we'll help you and we'll take a look at it. But I'm just telling you as right now that I haven't seen it. I didn't see it today. And I'm going to be honest, I really haven't. I think I've seen one time in the last 2 months something going on. But I couldn't tell you if it was a drug deal or what was it, or was gang activity. I don't know which, because it could be either or. But I haven't seen a drug transaction in your area. I haven't seen the drug transactions. How do they do it? Does a car drive up or what do they do? How do they do the drug deal? I don't know how they do it there.
Maybe they go in their car and do it. Midnight running. They go in their car and get it there.
So a person walks up or drives up?
They drive. You can drive up or walk up. You know.
And then so somebody comes with a car, walks around, and then they go into the car, they do the drug deal, and then they get out of the car, walk away, or drive away, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So I'll look for it. But today I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that today. Okay. So I'm just telling you that. So maybe I got to come a different time. Do they do it at the midnight? What times do they do it? They do it at all times.
They do all times. It doesn't matter.
Is there a time that it gets real busy?
I don't know. I don't know. They bring people day and night. Seriously, I'm in the house, but you understand?
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, I know.
That's irritating.
Well, I know you live your life and you don't want to be monitoring criminals. I don't monitor criminals either. I get that. But I just want to know, is there a pattern here? That's what I'm trying to get to. Is there a pattern?
There is a pattern, but see, they do different patterns.
Oh, there's
don't do one pattern, they do different patterns.
Okay, so there's different patterns, and I'll take a look. I just wanted to give you a report that, yeah. All right, so I'll look for different patterns, different times, but they're definitely in the cars. That's what you're saying, right?
They're definitely in the cars, yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll keep...
Sometimes it be, by Stop and Shop, they be over there too, over that way too.
Okay.
By Stop and Shop, right there.
All right, but, and if they're harassing you, then you should audio record it or video record it, right? And then that's what we provide. We'll add that to the RD number that we're looking into, right? And we'll say, look, and then when you do a second police report with an audio call, a threat, you say, look, I already have this report. This is the same people. I want you to take care of it. You know what I mean? That's how that works. You don't do separate reports. I always add the newest report to the other report. So each RD number is connected then. That's how you do that. All right? That's how they do patterns of crime, right, in areas. You add the crimes together. That way it's a pattern, okay?
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so if you can record them threatening you, that'd be something good, all right?
Okay.
I'll keep working on it, all right? I just wanted to report to you that I was around your neighborhood today, okay?
Appreciate that.
All right, appreciate you. Take it easy, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
You be there, bye-bye.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for talking. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cashback today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash higher.
422 units and 4 home citywide. 1 ticket of shots fired. 7954 Escanaba. 7954 Escanaba. Caller heard 6 shots in the area. No further. 4 districts on 8.
20 units at 9 on the citywide. Burglary just occurred, 4207 South California, first floor. Mr. Pena says through the interpreter, an unknown male Hispanic with a baseball bat was known to carry a knife. Broke into his apartment, damaged his belongings, stole his license plate, and fled on foot. The offender is wearing a black jacket and jeans. No further, 9th District, Zone 13.
Alright, so I have anybody over 22 East Roosevelt, the Orange Line Roosevelt, for a person down. There's a female that's down on the platform. Fires en route.
Orange Line Roosevelt, Overdose.
Alright, whoever was coming in, I could barely hear you.
7383 David, we're at the red line. Roosevelt will go up.
Orange Line Roosevelt, woman's down on the platform, most likely an overdose.
Go up and check it out.
Alright, thank you. Ambulance 19 is en route over there.
Ambulance 19 en route.
7353.
7353.
Number for Howard Direct 50.
09065. 09065.
8383 Adam.
83 Adam.
Going for 95th and Red Line North.
09069. 09069.
7386 Adam.
86 Adam.
Stars right, train 519 on the green line from Adams to Wabash Central, headed westbound.
09074. 09074.
Boy.
86 boy.
For Clerical Lake, please.
09078. 09078.
We have that number for the premise check over the O'Hare Blue Line and put 7300 on it as well.
Alright, 10-4, it's going to be 09098. 09098.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm over here at Roosevelt at the Orange Line. Can we have a paper correspondent, please? He does have a gash on her head. Send me paper over here.
Okay, 10-4, I will notify the zone.
What's going on in Roosevelt?
There was a female that fell down and got injured over there. 7386
For Howard West, please.
09174. 09174.
7383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Roosevelt, the red line.
They got security everywhere here, man. They got security hot and heavy here. You want to see? I'll show you, man.
09180. 09180.
They got a lot of security downtown. Let me show you this.
Units in the 6 and citywide, person with a gun, 1 ticket, 79th and Loomis. 79 Loomis. There's 5 males on the corner with firearms. Colors very uncooperative, not making sense, not answering questions. 6th District Lane.
Five people with firearms, 79th and Loomis.
Alright, we're getting another EMS call, 3355 West Belmont. It's Blue Line Belmont. CTA says that there's an unresponsive male on head car 7068. I don't know where details to follow.
Alright, units at 12 Citywide. We got a robbery just occurred 1659 West 18th Street in Dunkin' Donuts. Caller stated a male black about 6 feet, black jacket.
Dunkin' Donuts just got robbed on 18th Street.
Units 19 Citywide. Person with a gun over at Costco 2746 Clybourne. David said a male black in a black Tesla pointed a gun at him. He's not able to provide a license plate. But the offender is still on scene, sitting in his car. No further. District 19 Celsius.
What was the address of the robbery, guys?
I'm missing at Central Green Line, please.
7384 boy.
85 boy.
84 boy. Squad, can I get a red line check, Chicago?
Take event number 09771.
7387 boy.
87 boy.
I'm missing at Central Green Line, please.
There you go. Crime is down. See that?
09776.
They're using police to close down crime.
87 Charlie.
Where's that robbery?
87 boy, please.
To the units in 12 Citywide, a ticket of shots fired, 300 South Damon. 300 South Damon, there are 2 to 3 shots nearby, possibly from the top of the Malcolm X parking lot. Nothing further, 12th District, Zone 3.
Is going westbound on 123rd Street.
Westbound 123.
123 and Perry.
123 and Perry.
Southbound Perry from 123 Street.
Southbound Perry with a Y.
Unresponsive male, CTA Blue Line, Belmont, on the train.
I see 2 so far in the vehicle.
2 heads.
Southbound Perry past 124th Street.
Southbound on Perry past 124.
That's a felony vehicle.
Westbound in the alleyway.
Westbound in the
eastbound in the alleyway. Parallel to 124, it's going southbound in the alleyway. Southbound in the alleyway. East alleyway of Perry.
You can smell the weed around here.
Southbound in the east alley.
Somebody's smoking weed around here, but they got the security here. I don't know what's going on.
It's over at 12429 South Perry. 12429 South Perry. It looks like it's going to try to park.
Alright, parking 12429 South Perry, what do I?
Vehicle's stuck in the mud right now.
Stuck in the mud.
The vehicle's stuck. I see them trying to move out. Okay. Vehicle's trying to move again. It's still stuck.
Still stuck in the mud. Whatever responding units, please do not get stuck in the mud or snow.
And TH1 looks like it's only 1 occupant.
Alright, 1 head. 1 head now, just 1 head.
Vehicle lights are off.
Lights off.
Subject is getting out.
Let's see where that stuck in the mud is at. Listen up.
TH1, I have eyes on the vehicle. It's going southbound.
Listen up.
Parallel to Michigan. Alleyway.
Alright, West Alley of Michigan going southbound 100 block.
100 South
100.
Michigan.
How far south?
Vehicle's turning westbound on 122 Street. 122 Street.
Alright, 122 westbound now.
Going southbound on state from 122.
Southbound on state from 122.
To the units in 12 citywide, I took a shots fired, 300 South Damon. 300 South Damon, there are 2 to 3 shots nearby, possibly from the top of the Malcolm X parking lot. Nothing further, 12th District, Zone 3. Vehicle going westbound on 123rd.
They look like these are drug addicts.
Westbound 123.
123 and
What are
Perry.
these guys doing?
123 and Perry.
Southbound Perry from 123.
Yeah, these are drug addicts.
Southbound Perry with a Y.
I see 2 so far in the
These are
vehicle.
drug addicts. They're fucking around right now. What you're looking at?
Southbound Perry past 1243.
Southbound on Perry past 124.
Going westbound in the alleyway.
Westbound in the
Eastbound, I'm sorry, eastbound in the alleyway.
There's drug addicts and drug addicts all around here.
Southbound in the alleyway. East alleyway of Perry.
I got southbound in the east alley, 124 in Perry.
It's over at 12429 South Perry. 12429 South Perry. It looks like it's going to try to park.
Alright, parking 12429 South Perry, what do I?
1429 South Perry.
Mud right now.
Stuck in the mud.
The vehicle's stuck. I see them trying to move
We
out.
might go down
The
there.
vehicle's trying to move again. It's still stuck.
Still stuck in the mud. Whatever responding units, please do not get stuck in the mud or snow.
1429 South Prairie. Felony vehicle stuck in the mud.
Alright, one head. One head now, just one head.
Vehicle lights are off.
Lights off.
Subject is getting out.
Subject is exiting.
It's got a dark hoodie on.
Dark. And
At the rear of the trunk.
in the trunk. And once again, that's 12429 South Perry with a Y.
12449?
You got any ground units over there?
What you say? What's the address?
No.
And TH1 looks like it's only one occupant.
Alright, one head. One head now, just one head.
Vehicle lights are off.
Lights off.
Subject is getting out.
Subject is exiting.
It's got a dark hoodie on.
Dark. And
At the rear of the trunk.
in the trunk. And once again, that's 12429 South Perry with a Y. You got any ground units over there?
You're clear.
No, give me a second. Alright, for any 6400 units heads over there, once again, it's 12429 South Perry in the rear. In open lots, the vehicle stuck in the mud. The subject is still in the area in the trunk. He's crossed the alley, going northbound in the alley now. Going northbound in the alley, holding the A jack.
Found in the alleyway. He's got some stuff in his hands.
He's carrying some stuff. Is he walking or running?
He's walking.
Oh, he walking like he don't hit the helicopter, okay.
That's Ramona.
He's coming out over by one.
He's just walking away, even though the helicopter's overhead. Gonna keep moving. White drug addict right there. She just came to my car. That's a white drug addict.
Take event number 09885.
White drug addicts. They're all around here. See the white drug addict? She came right up to my car, right? You just seen that, right? You just seen that lady, right? She just came up to my car. I told you the white drug addicts are out here. She just went and picked up something out of the garbage, that lady. She just picked something up out of the garbage. That lady just went in the garbage and picked something up. Right there, that one. She just picked something out of the garbage, out of the store. That one right there. She went into the store, she didn't purchase anything, she picked something out of the garbage, and she filled her soda. That's what she did. Did you see that one? Ready to move? We're up to date on our radio calls, huh? Oh, there we go. Let's keep moving, right? What do you mean by the Black Panther taking over? I like that, right? Self-defense, right? That's why they killed all those guys in the old days, because they were teaching people they have a right to carry guns. Think about the white supremacists now that are running underneath Donald Trump. The first thing they said is the man had a gun, so we had to shoot him. But yet, they're for the Second Amendment. Not for them, though, the others. That's what happened to the Black Panthers. Everybody knows that. There was two things the Black Panthers did, and is why they wiped them out. One, they were teaching self-reliance. They're like, and they built this economy. That's after they killed the Black Panthers, that's when they destroyed all those economies inside the projects. The Black Panthers taught separation, technically. And then they were building bridges, right? And there was the young lords and everything like that. That's separate. That's a separate political aspect. But what the Black Panthers did is they said, look, we're oppressed. We're living in a racist nation. This is their view, right? I'm paraphrasing. So if they're against us, one, why are we spending money in their economy? Why are we putting our money in their banks? Why are we going to their real estate agents? Why are we going to their car dealerships? Why are we doing that? And any race does this. Mexicans, Asians, Indians, Southeast Asian, they all do this. If you go to areas in our city, they're ethnic areas, right? But the Black Panther said, look, we say it's racist. They don't like us. So this is what we're going to do. We ain't going to give them our money, and we're going to take care of ourselves. And that's what they started doing. Self-sufficiency, which everyone should have anyways. It doesn't matter. Everyone should be self-sufficient. I believe in integration and assimilation. I don't believe in separation. But hey, that's my view. I'm talking about the Black Panthers' view, right? The second thing the Black Panthers did is not only did they talk about separation, they talked about self-defense.
Said a white GMC take off on us, eastbound on I-55, Frank 24082. We're eastbound from Dane. We just have eyes. It blacked out. Most likely a fresh field. Is it I-55 Damon, a white GMC pickup truck took off from you?
White GMC pickup truck, stolen car, going eastbound from Damon on I-55. That's fresh. He's probably going to crash.
You going south? Okay, so you're going coming back towards Lake Shore Drive. Okay.
Where is that?
One second, I'm running a plate.
It's a PHA. Stop by you.
Look, it's a rental car. It's a 2025 GMC utility vehicle, white in color. It's a rental car. And right now it's coming back clear. PH on the air for the mobile. PH on the air.
Yes, go ahead.
6409 Charlie is following a white GMC that took off from him. He thinks it's the first deal he's going inbound on I-55.
It's a rental car. It's not marked as stolen yet, but the patrol car thinks it's stolen.
Addison, Damon.
They're asking for PH1's help.
Are you going to go up, or are you already up, or what?
Where are you up? I keep calling out the location.
Alright, 10-4. And then anybody near Grand in the red line, I gotta check the will be EMS. Got a person, track level. I don't know, what is this? Oh, male fell on the tracks. Trains have stopped. Anybody close blue line? Actually, it says blue line. Trying to tell them, but it says red line Grand.
Oh, one Sam. I'll check red line Grand first just to confirm.
And the power is off.
Red line Grand, someone fell on the tracks at Grand. Red line, Grand Avenue, somebody fell on the tracks. The power has been cut off. Overdose, right? That's an overdose there on Grand. Or blue one.
Any updates on that vehicle?
Any updates?
6409 Charlie, we continued eastbound through State Street. We're trying to reacquire. Probably on the way to Lakeshore.
I passed the State Street, probably made it to Lakeshore Drive. Don't know which way it went. Anybody on Lakeshore Drive, we're looking for that 2025 white GMC pickup truck. We'll play the Frank 24082 as a rental. It took off from 6409. Charlie thinks it's a fresh deal.
3215. Alright, page 1, we're coming from Central 290.
3215, you said?
I was asking to repeat the plate.
Frank 24082. Frank 24082. House it made it to Lakeshore Drive. I don't know which way it would have went.
6409 701 Sam. And just for info, it's an SUV. It's not a pickup truck.
Oh, you said SUV. Okay, so it's a white GMC SUV. Alright, I'm going to tell you the last unknown direction from the Stevenson on Lakeshore Drive. A white GMC SUV, possible fresh deal, took off from you. 649 Charlie, plate was Frank 24082. Alright, I'm putting around the room if anyone finds the vehicle, I'll let you know.
Oh, what's Sam?
Go ahead, Sam.
Let them know Chicago Grand Line, Grand Red Line, Bonafide, southbound track, older male, 1 blue coat. He didn't have the brakes on that walker and it just got him right to the track. So he's cross, looks like passengers are attempting to get him off the tracks now.
It doesn't look like he made contact with the third rail, does it?
Negative. He flipped forward, maybe a foot, but I doubt it. No, negative.
Okay, I'll let the 18th district know.
Let's take it in.
Go ahead, Sam.
Let them know Chicago Grand Line, Grand Red Line, Bonafide, southbound track, older male, 1 blue coat. He didn't have the brakes on that walker and it just got him right to the track. So he's cross, looks like passengers are attempting to get him off the tracks now.
It doesn't look like he made contact with the third rail, does it?
Negative. He flipped forward, maybe a foot, but I doubt it. No, negative.
Okay, I'll let the 18th district know.
Let's take it in. Occurred at 1836 hours. DH1, anything further on the white SUV?
No, they lost as possibly went on Lakeshore Drive, either north or south. We don't know yet.
Alright, we're nearby. They get an update on either direction.
Alright, tough one. Let me know if you reacquire contact with the vehicle.
734 Adam.
8 for Adam.
We give an event number for your Clarendon Lake red line, please.
09971.
For units in Chiona Citywide, the southern progress, 45 in King, details to follow.
Caller states there's a white Chevy following him. Caller's in a black Chevy Trax. They're both southbound. Driver of the white vehicle has his bright lights on him. They're still following him. Male black beard with a hat. Still getting details. Second district on 7.
7386 boy. 7386. Advance for America Lake, please.
09985, 09985.
7384 Charlie.
84 Charlie.
Can I get the event number for Howard Red?
09988, 09988.
7385 Auto.
85.
Hey, Flash, can we get the event number? 95th in the red line.
09992.
Can we get one more event number for the 6th District side of 95th?
09996.
So as you've seen, there's a lot of white people looking for drugs in downtown. They come down here. It's like the old days when the suburbanites used to run on that 290 and go into the neighborhoods, into the projects, and buy the heroin and the drugs. It's still happening. You just seen a bunch of white people down here trying to buy drugs, right? All those white people were trying to buy drugs. It was all whites. Did you see there was one black guy who was walking around panhandling? And we're not being realistic. And that's why those white supremacists are nasty. They don't care. They just want power. And again, white supremacists don't believe in police. They don't believe in the government. They want to destroy the government. They want to destroy the police. Remember, they hate the police. They hate the government. Don't forget that. Blacks like the federal government. They like the forts. They like the police. Why? Because that's Juneteenth. The federal government protected blacks. Think about it. We have to be clear on what's happening in our society. After the Civil War, the southern states did not what? Protect the blacks. And the southern states, even after they lost the war, they said, oh, blah, 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 blah. The safest place, if you go and check out these southern forts, what they say were racist, right? They changed the names of the southern forts. Blacks used to go to the forts for protection against the whites. Those are facts. Go down to the south, read what happened. Blacks created their own towns, right? They gathered together like I was just talking about the black nationalists, right? Self-sufficiency and self-defense. Second Amendment, self-sufficiency, our own economies. What did the white supremacists just say on all their tweets? He carried a gun, so he should be shot. Wait, what do you mean he carried a gun, he should be shot? White supremacists carry guns. MAGAs carry guns. They actually say guns. Kyle Rittenhouse are guns. Carry a gun. Kind of get it? They want to disarm the population and only them to have the guns. That's the most dangerous thing that you can be in a society. If you take away all the guns like in Australia, that's one thing, right? Everybody don't have guns. Europe, most of Europe is that way. I think some China is that way. In China and Europe, you can be a hunter or special use. But in Australia, same thing, you're a hunter. But everybody, no one can have a gun. In Australia, you can't have a machete. They outlawed machetes in Australia last year when there was a machete attack. They're wild in Australia. They're ultra liberals, super ultra liberals. It's strange since it's a penal colony. Everybody knows Australia was a penal colony, right? That's where they sent criminals. So now you have these people who shoot a guy in the back, who then say, oh, you can't be walking around protests with guns. Like, huh? What? What are you talking about? You kind of get where that goes? They want to disarm everybody. They're no different from the ultra left that want to disarm you. They want you to register your gun so they can get you when they want to. They're the same people. They're the same. Left or right, they're the same. They're the same. They want to take away your rights.
Alright, you got a Velasquez, you got a valid driver's license with an address in Chicago. He is
You know, look, my internet stopped working today, but yet something just popped up on my phone that I didn't want to pop up. You kind of get it? I didn't want that to pop up, and it did. It's strange, isn't it? It's strange, right? How do things pop up on our phones and our internets, yet when we're doing something, it doesn't let it pop up, right? It's kind of strange, isn't it?
Valid, all right. You know, Velasquez is a very common name. Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. I want to, none of this is the first name. First name, now this is the deal being the last name, getting on multiple things. I'm going to say, because I don't see this first name featured anywhere in any of these multiple records I see here, they clearly don't want no warrant. Good enough, thank you. 384 Adam. 84. Get another quality of life for Clark Lake, please. Take event number 10050.
10050.
80. Bring it on, Chicago red light check. Take event number 10062.
Quality of life. Event. Did you hear that? That's that smoking stuff. I'm gonna play that back to you. So they don't arrest people anymore for smoking. Got it?
Valid, all right. You know, Velasquez is a very common name. Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. I want to, none of this is the first name. First name, now this is the deal being the last name, hitting on multiple things. I'm going to say, because I don't see this first name featured anywhere in any of these multiple records I see here, they clearly don't want no warrant. Good enough, thank you. 384 Adam. 84. Get another quality of life for Clark Lake, please. Take event number 10050. 7384 boy. 80. Bring it on, Chicago red light check. Take event number 10062.
Quality of life. That means you don't get arrested. That's what that means. So you got to understand what those white supremacists are doing, right? They're in power. It's like Brandon Johnson in Chicago. They want to take people's land. So what they do, they let crime happen, suppresses values in certain areas. Then they raise your taxes to kick out everybody that's a homeowner, older people. It doesn't affect corporate companies, right? Because corporate companies are corporate companies. They use other people's money, right? And what happens? Everybody gets enslaved. Remember, we weren't enslaved before when we're up. Why did all the blacks come up here? The migrants, the Irish, the Chinese come to Chicago? Because they had jobs here. That's why. They worked, they paid their bills, and that's what they did here. So now when they have all of this housing stock, in Chicago, the housing stock is really good. I heard this story a few months ago. It's paid off. It's good housing stock. It's good land. You got water, you got electric, you got all the good stuff. So now they want that land, right? They want all that land that grandpa and grandma built in Chicago, right? All the old immigrants, the black people that came up from the Great Migrations, the Hispanics that moved up here in the 50s. Yeah, Hispanics moved into Chicago in the 50s. I know a few of them. My age, Hispanics and older, they tell me how their parents got here. They paid off their houses. They had businesses. They want to steal all that land. All of that land they want to steal. They want to convert it. They want to make it into what? Banking, credit, and all of that stuff, right? That's what they need to do. And then they're going to repopulate Chicago. That's the plan. It'll be repopulated in by the time we're dead. 2050, they say the Chicago population inside might be 10 million. Inside, not around. Not the metropolitan area. So that's the plan there, okay? All right, let's keep moving here, right? Because I need to get to where I need to get to. All right, let's see what these guys are doing, and they're still sleeping in their cardboard bags.
Citywide, a person with a gun, 79th and Ashland, 79 and Ashland at the gas station. Angel said a male black wearing all black clothing just tried to rob her at gunpoint. He fled northbound through the alley wearing a brown coat and pink jogging pants. Nothing further.
No lights, all tinted windows. There you go. How about this? Cardboard boxes. You see that there? So why are people still in cardboard boxes, right? See that there? How many years in office has he been? Brandon Johnson, right? 6:56 p.m.
City units in 12 Citywide, a panic alarm, 322 Northwestern, 322 North on Western. The DoorDash driver activated their panic alarm. No vehicle in.
January 28th, 2026, 7 p.m. You see that here? See that there? Downtown Chicago. This is Ida B. Wells here, right? We're living in cardboard boxes in downtown Chicago. There you go. SubX News on the spot reporting. All right, you guys just seen that, right? 6. Still living in cardboard boxes in downtown Chicago 3 years after the mayor's been in office. 7 p.m., January 28th, 2026. You just seen it, right? You see those guys in cardboard boxes? You hear the crime. How many overdoses did you hear on the train? How are people doing drugs on the train? It's illegal. Everybody knows it's illegal to do drugs on the train, right? You got stolen cars driving around. They're tracking stolen cars. They're not stopping stolen. Did they stop the guy? They tracked the guy. You heard it on the radio. I don't know. Do I explain that to everybody here? They don't stop the car. They track the car. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's 4700 South, southbound. Can you run a driver's license number for me?
Sure, go ahead.
He's in Adam, 5360-1302-789.
There's an ambulance right in front of us, right?
We have 386 voice.
86 voice.
You have a different number for clerical lectures.
10154. 10154.
Chicago, Illinois, 33 million.
All right, 3271.
71 go.
All right, Aaliyah Anderson is coming back with an expired DL, registered to 5146 South Low. Other than that, she's clear.
Hey, good now, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is 7 o'clock news.
There's a low of 2 above overnight. Right now it is 14 degrees in Chicago at 7 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Department of Homeland Security offers an update on the 2 agents who fired on Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. CBS's Nicole Skanga.
These officers, all of those who were involved, including the 2 that we know opened fire, have been placed on administrative leave. Now, that is typically protocol during an officer-involved shooting, and they will remain on leave if protocol is followed until this investigation is completed. We do know that HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, is currently leading this, along with the FBI, though there are a lot of questions about the credibility of the probe right now.
Border Patrol leadership had previously said the agents were relocated for safety reasons. The FBI executes a search order connected with the 2020 election at the Fulton County Election Center south of Atlanta. David Becker of the Center for Election Innovation and Research.
If the FBI and DOJ reviews these ballots, they'll find the exact same thing that every single court and every single review of these ballots has found, which is that Joe Biden legitimately won Georgia in 2020, just as Donald Trump legitimately won Georgia in 2024.
The center serves as a storage space for election equipment and office space for multiple Fulton County agencies. Hundreds of thousands in the South are still without power. Crews are racing to repair the damage after that massive weekend storm now blamed for at least 41 deaths. CBS's Katie Weiss is in hard-hit Oxford, Mississippi.
It's like an icy tornado ripped through this city. Thousands of people here in Oxford are now on day 4 with no power and no running water. And with more freezing temperatures expected this weekend, the city's mayor says it's only going to get worse.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio has testified before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee about the path forward in Venezuela.
We want to reach a phase of transition where we are left with a friendly, stable, prosperous Venezuela and democratic, in which all elements of society are represented in free and fair elections.
Secretary Rubio also says it will take time to stabilize Venezuela and get its oil infrastructure up to speed. President Trump escalates his warnings toward Iran, threatening harsher military action while urging Tehran to return to the negotiating table over its nuclear program. Iran is pushing back, saying it's open to talks but ready to defend itself. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
There was a lot of damage done to Iran's nuclear facilities. That's an understatement. You know, the B-2 bombers with these massive ordnance penetrators did a lot of damage to 1 or 2 of the main nuclear sites in Iran. But it is the case of the Iranians and the Iranian regime that as soon as the dust settles, literally and metaphorically, they're rebuilding again.
This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS News Roundup on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It is 7:03 on this Wednesday, the 28th of January. Good evening. I'm John Welty in for Lisa Fielding. Thanks for joining us. 13 degrees right now in Chicago under mostly clear skies, going to a low of 2 above. That frigid weather will continue for the next couple of days. Could see a warm up on Saturday, though. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast is on the way. Our top local story on News Radio WBBM, DuPage County officials sharing new information about the murder of a pregnant mother this week. WBBM's Andy Dane reports it's ahead of a court appearance for the Westmont man charged in that murder.
Prosecutors say Gabriel Morales was selling a pickup truck on Facebook Marketplace. He was at work Monday night when investigators say 19-year-old Nettis Rovakis stopped by his Downers Grove apartment to buy the car. Family members say 30-year-old Eliza Morales, pregnant with her second child and due in March, was making dinner at the time. When Rovakis became upset with the condition of the truck, prosecutors say he attacked Morales. She suffered 70 stab wounds during a struggle, in which Rovakis is also accused of fatally stabbing the family's dog. He then allegedly set their apartment on fire. Charges against him include first-degree murder, arson, and homicide of an unborn child. Prosecutors are expected to ask a judge to deny pretrial release. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A former Markham woman has been convicted of concealing her infant daughter's death back in 2017. Police say they believe someone else was involved and the investigation is not over yet.
It was the summer of 2017 when the infant's body was found wrapped in a blanket in the attic of an abandoned home that had been set on fire. Deputy Fire Chief Scott Adams spoke to CBS News Chicago.
anytime you have a loss of life, especially a young child, it tears at your heartstrings.
She was a Jane Doe for months until the grandparents became suspicious and came forward providing DNA. Their grandchild was missing along with her parents. Then investigators had the baby's identity, Anna Maria Townsend. The mother, Melody Townsend, was located in Los Angeles in 2023 and is now convicted of child endangerment and concealing a homicide. Markham Police Commander Jesse Jones.
Definitely believe someone else to be involved, and we're going to continue to investigate that. And it's not over.
He isn't specifically pointing to the father, who also disappeared in 2017. Jones said Melody Townsend knows what she should do. Come clean, he said. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An attack on a CTA train that left a woman critically burned has now led to charges in how Cook County courts will handle people who've been released on electronic monitoring.
Chicago police say the suspect in last November's attack on a woman as she rode the Blue Line had been ordered to wear an ankle monitor with a curfew after being released from custody in connection with a separate attack 3 months earlier. The incident drew new attention to the county's electronic monitor program, and in an extensive interview last month, Chief Judge Charles Beach told me he was working on changes to better handle reported violations.
When something like that happens, we can get this in front of a judge the next day.
Now his office is spelling out those changes. First, it's classifying any absence of more than 3 hours during the week as a major violation. Up until now, absences weren't considered major until they were longer than 48 hours. And starting February 7th, all major violations will be heard by a judge within 24 hours, 7 days a week. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
It is 7:06. Your water bill could soon be going up. The state's largest privately owned water company is now asking regulators for a rate hike.
Illinois American Water filed a rate hike with the Illinois Commerce Commission to raise water bills of average users by $14 a month and wastewater users by $28 a month. The company told the state the increase would help pay for $577 million in system improvements over the next 2 years. The Citizens Utility Board plans to challenge it, calling it a money grab, pointing to profits by Illinois American's parent company at more than $1 billion in 2024 and another $873 million last year through September. If approved, the new rates would take effect a year from now. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago police on the lookout for a person who stabbed a woman on the CTA Blue Line. A 38-year-old woman got into a fight with another passenger on a train at the Addison Street Blue Line stop along the Kennedy Expressway this morning. That's when detectives say the other person pulled out a sharp object and cut her body. The victim was taken to a nearby hospital and is expected to recover. Well, from endless road repairs to higher fares, your commute keeps changing. Count on us.
CTA stabbing, Blue Line. You heard it. That's the homeless drug addicts, man. Look, I hate to say homeless drug addicts, but there's homeless and there's drug addicts, and some of them are together. You just heard it. They sleep on the train and stab each other. Ladies burned alive. There was a guy that was shot to death on the train just 2 months ago. Look, WBBM don't even talk about that. They talk about the lady burned alive. There was a guy shot to death on the train. I believe it was on the Red Line. It was downtown. It wasn't down by 95th Street in, quote, the black neighborhoods. It wasn't in, quote, the black neighborhoods. They don't report that because it was in the white area. That's why. You get how white supremacy works? That's how it works. White supremacy. Brandon Johnson's put in power by white supremacists. Everybody knows that, right? Look at the pictures of him and Bill Ayers. Bill Ayers, look at how he looks. He's tattooed on his fingers, on his face, on his neck. That's a white supremacist. That's a white supremacist that has tattoos all over it. You can say, no, John, I'm making stuff up. And other people have tattoos, and what about this and what about that? Like, look, I'm talking about white people that have tattoos on their bodies all over. That's a white supremacist. Got that? You can name yourself whatever you want. My grandpa taught me about all that stuff long time ago when he was put in a prison camp. My grandpa was in a prison camp for 3.5 years. You know who put him in there? White supremacist Nazis. Nazis. White supremacist Nazis. Got that? When you call me a Nazi, I know you're the Nazi. You want people to not like me, and that's okay with me. They didn't like my grandpa. That's why they put him in the prison camp. And they killed all his friends. Got that? Got that? That's why the union don't like me. That's why Brandon Johnson don't like me. That's why certain people don't like me. Because I can tell you immediately who's a Nazi, who's a fascist, and who's against you. The people who shoot people in the back, they're your enemies. The people who say they're going to go against the federal government, like Brandon Johnson did last night. Brandon Johnson said he's going against the federal government. That's the Confederacy. The federal government freed the slaves. The federal government created protections for blacks, freed slaves. It wasn't the states. It wasn't the cities. And Brandon Johnson wants to destroy that protection. Then you got the other side that are underneath Trump that are shooting people in the back. So now you got two sides saying the same thing. And everybody, all of us in the middle are going, what's going on here? Well, it's easy. You know what's going on? It's a fight for power and suppression of all of us. They want all of us to be slaves. Facebook made record profits. You just heard today, record profits were made all over in some businesses. Did you make a record profit? Are your bills lower? Do you have more money in the bank? Did you go on a nice vacation? Can you go get steak and lobster every few weeks with your family on a Sunday and have a nice dinner outside? Go see a show? When's the last time? Think about this. Think about this. And I'm going to leave you with this because I'm done with my broadcast. It's movie night with my kid, right? I think we're going to do I don't know if we're going to do Fallout or we're going to go 28 years after. There's a couple of really good movies out there. So I don't know. We might do back-to-back Fallout. We'll see because we missed last week's Fallout. I'm going to leave you with this. How good are you off? And this has nothing to do with Trump, right? And it doesn't matter who's the president, but, it's part of him. When's the last time you went out with your family? Because I have a family that's raised. Now I have all adult children. I'm going to stop right here and we're going to finish this right here. When is the last time you went out with your family? You went out to a show? You went out to dinner? And then you went shopping. See, I used to do that with my family. I think it's appropriate to have normal human activities with our families to build good families. Families that believe in God. Families that believe in work. Families that aren't on welfare. Families that don't complain and point fingers at each other and we help each other out. And then go for a dessert maybe. So a show, a nice dinner, some shopping, maybe a dessert. I used to do that with my family a lot. A lot. Almost every week. I had a good job. I was making decent money, but I did it even when I was minimum wage jobs. You can't do that no more. I got a family of 6. There's 6 of us in my family. If I did that today, it might cost me $500. $500. In the old days, it would cost me about $100, maybe $150. Maybe, depending on where I went to eat. The show was about $50, $60, right? Tickets were $10. 6 of us, that's $60 plus popcorn and all that fancy stuff, $75, $80. Then we went out to dinner, was another $100, so that's $180, right? Maybe $200, and then we went did some shopping, $50. So $250 to $300. Nowadays, it's maybe $500, maybe more. That's what we always have to think about. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has nothing to do with Biden. 2 old white men. Think about it. We went from one old 80-year-old white man to another old 80-year-old white man. Who's running the government? Do you think Trump is doing all this stuff? What do you think? Why do you think he suspended Bovino? Because he looked at the paperwork and the old white man said, okay, blah, blah, blah. He shot him, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes, give me the report. And then he sees the report that they shot him in the back. He says, oh, man, fire that dude. Remember Trump? You done the apprentice? You're fired? Yeah. He's old-fashioned. You might not like him, but he's old-fashioned. That's the kind of why I voted for him. I didn't vote for him twice. I voted for him once. But that's where we're at. Are we better off Are we better off as a country? Are we better off as Americans? Are you as a black person better off as a black person because Brandon Johnson is the mayor? Some are. He's giving out a lot of money. Some are they're moving up the scales, right? There's some people in our city that are moving up, black businesses, Hispanic businesses, but only the ones that agree with his policies. You see the pattern here? If you agree with Brandon Johnson's policies, you get a grant. You get a leg up. If you agree with Trump, you get a leg up. You get a grant. That's the point. And we're in a dangerous space in our society. Unless we, as Americans, not Dubai bloggers, not bloggers from Bangkok, not fakesters running around doing fake reports. You need to know where the people live that you're listening to. You need to know where they're at. Like me and Marietta, I call her, she calls me, and I say, this is what I've seen. She calls me back. Instant real-time activity. We showing how I support Marietta, and I show you how Marietta supports me. We're strangers. I don't know who Marietta is. I didn't grow up with her, but we work together on issues. Am I agree with Marietta all the time? No. Does Marietta agree with me all the time? Absolutely not. But we help each other as a community. It don't matter who I am and where I'm from, and it don't matter where she is and who she is. When she asks for help, I try to do my best to help her, and she tries to do her best to help me. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be forgetting this left and right stuff, and we need to start protecting each other, protecting our families, protecting our country from outsiders, one. Second, from people who want to divide us. If they say LGBTQ, gay, straight, blah, 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 Christian, Muslim, blah, forget that. Forget that. If he's a Muslim terrorist, you say he's a Muslim terrorist. If he's a right-wing Christian terrorist, you got to say that. But that doesn't mean that Christians are bad. That doesn't mean Muslims are bad. That just means the facts. And that's what we've gotten away from, the facts. The facts that this is America. This is our country. It's not Brandon Johnson's country. It isn't J.B. Pritzker's country. It isn't Donald Trump's country. It isn't white supremacist country. And it isn't Black Panther's country. It's our country. We get to decide how we want to live. And I want to go with my family. I want to have a show. I want to have a dinner. I want to go shopping. And I want to have a dessert. And maybe even have a hotel somewhere and have a really good time. But I can't do that today. It's too expensive. There's a lot of people are making profits. That's the theme of today's show. The profits are keep being made while we keep being divided. That's the old adage. Separate us and they can control us. Take it easy, everybody. SubX News. That's all I got for tonight. 7:17 p.m. January 28th. 2026. I'm going to have a movie night with my son in my apartment. We're going to throw on Netflix and throw a couple of movies on. We're going to have dinner together. That's what we got. I think I got those chicken wings from Costco. We might cook those up. We're going to see. Stay safe. Be with your families. And let's do one last thing. I'm going to say this. Americanism. We need to be teaching Americanism. I'm going to stop. I was right about this. We shouldn't be teaching Christianity. We shouldn't be teaching Muslims. We shouldn't be teaching Buddhisms, Hinduisms, baptisms. I don't care what you call it. Right-wingers, fascists, and Black Panthers, and Ku Klux Klans. That has nothing to do with America. Those are in America, and people get to do that because we have the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of assembly. But we're Americans. We should be teaching Americanism. How to fix our society, how to build good families, how to have good schools, how to have good jobs, how to have good movies, how to have good dinners, how to have good cars, how to have good refrigerators, how to have good picnics. That's Americanism. All this other stuff that we see on TV, 90 to 95% of the stuff we see is garbage. It's by foreigners. You know CNN is owned by Rupert Murdoch? You know he ain't no damn American. Do you ever listen to CNN? Half those people speak with a British accent. They're fucking telling us about America? Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out. That's what we need to tell you. You want to enforce what Trump's saying? ICE? Everybody out. Everyone out, including Fox News. If they're foreigners and they do manipulation stuff, they need to be out. Mario Nawal, from Dubai, he should be banned from posting an American Twitter. He should be banned. He's a foreign agent. I agree with Trump. Let's fix the country. Fix it all. Not halfway for white supremacists. We should fix it for everybody. You know who? For Americans. That's who we should fix this country for. For Americans. People who want to be Americans. People who want to be Americans. You want to do some other weird shit? Go the hell out. Go to Cuba if you want to be communist. Go to China if you want to be communist. You like Iran and Gaza? Go to Iran and Gaza. Go be a Muslim over there. Go to Iraq. You can be a Muslim. Go to Saudi Arabia. You can be a Muslim there. You want to live like in the old days? Go to South America. Go to Africa. I don't care. America should be Americanism for us. Not white, not black, not Mexican, not Chinese, for Americans. Americans. When they put labels on us, that's the enemy. Anyone who puts a label on any one of us Americans, that's our enemy. Those are our enemies. That's all I got for tonight. SubX News signing off. I had to say that. I'm tired of reading what I read every day. That's why I said that. 7:21 p.m. January 28th, 2026. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Take it easy. You got any tips on crime, or send it to me. If you want to talk on my show, DM me. I'll send you my number. I'll call you up. You can talk on my show. And let's do a live talk show. I want to do something different. 2026 is a different year. All right, take it easy, everybody. I love everybody. I appreciate you watching. Take it easy. Have a good night. SubX News signing off. 7:21 p.m. January 28th, 2026. Signing off. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.